Hey everyone, Louie V here from Vinyl Latte, and it is the first Friday of the month going into November. It's November 1st of 2024, and since it's the first Friday of the month, it is time for a channel update. Now, what exactly is a channel update? It is an opportunity for the fans, the community, the Vinyl Latte community to kind of get to know what's happening, what's going on, what are some future content and videos going to be like. It's also an opportunity for me to connect with the community on a little bit more on a personal level, where I share maybe things that are going on in my life, or you never know what's going to come out of these videos. The reason I'm bringing that up is that if you're new to the channel and you clicked on this video, this might not be the first video you want to watch from the channel. I have a playlist that has tons of interesting videos. There's things like music reviews, hardware reviews, interviews with folks. You got tons of things like record hauls. There is a collection of videos. Just go ahead and click the Vinyl Latte logo and you're going to go to the main page, and underneath is going to be plenty of playlists for you to dive into. If you love music and you love records, you're at the right spot. Just find a different video. Now, for those that landed on the right video, welcome. It's been a month, hasn't it? I mean, oh my gosh. This month for me, I don't know about you, but it has just gone by so quickly. So quickly. I feel like it was only days ago where I did the, end of September wrap up, the October channel update. Now we're in November, and and you know what's going to happen is that sooner or later it's going to be Thanksgiving, then it's going to be December, and it's going to be the holidays and New Year, and it's just going to roll by. The next 2 months are going to go by so quick. Record Store Day is going to be here before we know it. Which is going to be awesome for a lot of folks. If you're wondering why I haven't done a Record Store Day video, it's because I did. I did one on a different channel. I was invited to the Golden Image Music YouTube channel to meet with Larry and Todd, and we sat down and we talked about Record Store Day. Now, we recorded probably a 3-hour video. I think the end result that Todd put together is 90 minutes. But we talk about so much stuff, guys. We don't just go through the list. It's 3 blokes talking about records with various different tastes, might I add. But we talk about Record Store Day. We talk about the good old days of Record Store Day, how it's kind of evolved, and what we're sort of seeing coming out of it. And then we go through a very big list, maybe about 30 records. Don't quote me on that, but about 30 records. And our thoughts on it. And I got to tell you, not all of us agreed. Sometimes we had various different opinions. And in a few occasions, and I'll admit to this, my opinion changed after talking to Todd and Larry about whether I wanted to get a record or not get a record. So I think it's an interesting dialogue. It's really like sitting down at a record store and being part of a conversation with a bunch of guys talking about albums. That's sort of the approach here. And if you're into that, I think you're going to feel good. I think you just grab yourself a cup of joe, get yourself comfortable, and play the video. Or maybe you put it on while you're driving to work or something and be like having a podcast, because there's not a lot of visuals. It's just 3 gray beards of vinyl music talking about records and what we would get and not get. So I think you'll really enjoy it. But that's why I didn't do an RSD video on the channel, because I had the pleasure and the privilege to be part of the Golden Image Music episode, and I didn't see the value of having to say basically the same thing over again on my channel. So if you want to know my Record Store Day picks, go to the Golden Music Image YouTube channel. I'll put the link to the video in the description of this video. So it'll make it real convenient for you. Just go to the description. You'll have an opportunity to click that link and watch that video. It's a great video. And if you're not a subscriber of Todd and Larry's channel, I think you should be. They bring a very unique taste to YouTube, to the music community. Sorry, I'm rambling here for a moment, but a lot of other YouTubers, there's like an echo chamber. It's like everybody's talking about the same album, or everybody's talking about the same concept. These guys come up with unique content all the time. I think you'll really like it. I think you'll really enjoy it. And I think it's worth you giving them a try. So go ahead and check them out. I got a little bit ahead of myself because I was trying to get to the fact that, a couple days ago, which was really at the beginning of October, but mentally it feels like a couple days ago, I put together a channel update where I was just befuddled on how quickly we amassed 4,000 subscribers at the beginning of October. I am even more pleased to announce, and even further befuddled, to say that we're sitting at almost 5,200 subscribers coming into the 1st of November. That is over 1,100 new subscribers in 28 days. And I know that because YouTube dashboard always gives you a 28-day rollback. Why they don't do 30 days, I don't know. But they give you a 28-day rollback right on the main screen. And it says it's over 1.1. I mean, I cannot believe it. I am blown away. I am blown away about how quickly this channel is growing. And I know from the bottom of my heart, the number one reason this channel is growing so rapidly is because of you. It's because of you, the fans, the people who like, comment, subscribed, the ones that share these videos with your friends, that watch the channel updates. You care enough to know what's going on in my world, in the world of Vinyl Latte, to watch these channel updates. It's you. You're the reason. You're the reason this channel has grown so rapidly, and I'm so grateful and thankful for everything you guys do. Everything you do. I wake up in the morning and put the content together for you, because I know you care and you want to see new things. And that's so refreshing to be able to do. I put a lot of work into this because you deserve to have great content. I built a planner. I have my whole month, laid out. I've done, I think, 2.5 months now where I haven't missed a day on releasing some sort of video, whether it's a full-length video or a short. I haven't missed one day. That's a lot of videos, a lot of content being pumped out of this channel. And even I know it's short, 60 seconds. I know it to you're looking at it as like it's less than a minute of your time. It takes more time than that. It takes time to plan, it takes time to figure out what to say, it takes time to figure out what to write, it takes time to edit, post. It takes time to monitor the performance of that so you know if you're on the right track or not on the right track, trying to figure out what you want to see and what you don't want to see. But even more so, these full-length videos, they require a heck of a lot more preparation. So this is slowly becoming, from a time investment, almost like having a second job. It's like when I'm not doing a day job, I tend to be focused on Vinyl Latte. I wake up every morning checking comments. I look at performance. I try to see what's performing, what's not performing, so I can adjust my content moving forward. And then, of course, trying to plan things out for you guys that are going to be great things. And because of the growth, and because you care and you share, we've been able to get some amazing people on the channel. We had Chan Kinchla from the Blues Traveler. We had the interim CEO at Vinyl Me Please, Matt Fiddler. He joined us recently talking about some really challenging questions about the future of Vinyl Me Please. I'm very grateful to have him on board. And we're trying to line up some more folks for you to meet. There's a couple Rock and Roll Hall of Famers trying to get there. We're going to see if we can land one or two of them. So we'll see what happens. There's some folks coming out with some new albums, and I'd love to get them on here to talk to you a little bit about them and maybe ask them some questions of their yesteryear, some burning questions or something. We'll see how that goes out. I'm also working on building out some new relationships with some folks in the industry. If you know Friday Music, the owner over there, Joe Friday, that's how he's known in the industry. He's been around the music world for a long time. And he knows a lot of folks within inside of the industry. He's been on Rolling Stones. He knows a lot of musicians. He's connected, and he's got a lot of great stories. And I would like to I'm going to try to get Joe to come on the channel and maybe share some of those stories with us, right? So I'm trying to come up with things that will be entertaining other than me talking about records that I've recently acquired. I'll continue to do the haul videos, just dial them back a little bit in favor of some very enriching and engaging content. And it sounds like that's what you all want. When I look at the views and I look at the performance and the watch time, you guys like the interviews. You like the hardware reviews, which I have some of those coming up as well. I will talk about that in a moment. And you like more creative videos, like we did the 10 albums you must hear before you die. That has performed really well across the board. And I know that was a hard list. I got some I had some rocks thrown at me in the comments, but it was a hard list to come up with. If you imagine just in here, 3,000 some records, coming up with 10 that I felt were you must hear them, and then trying to say, okay, I want representation from at least all the mainstream, music genres. That was a really hard list to come by. And I tried to think about, how was the album received? How did it impact the music industry? How did it impact the community, the fan base when it released? And I tried to also come up with things that you weren't used to hearing, right? So everybody's like, oh, Pink Floyd, should be on there. Michael Jackson Thriller album should be on there. Steely Dan should be on there. Well, yeah, we always hear those names. We hear those albums all the time, and I wanted to come up with things a little bit different. I will share with you, though, they're not my top 10 favorite albums of all time. I just think they're really great sounding albums that had a significant impact, and that's why I shared it with you. So, but you guys like those videos, so I want to do more of those. Maybe I'll dive into my top 10, my personal top 10 favorite albums. I also think we have opportunities to talk about, break it down by genre, top jazz albums that every collector should have, the most significant or impactful 90s hip-hop records or so. I think we can really start building out some very specific videos, still aligned on music, still aligned on records and which records to get. I always like talking about what I feel is the definitive copy for me. It's all subjective. You might like this reissue, I might like this issue, and we can agree to disagree. That's what makes music beautiful, is that we can all interpret it differently. But anyway, I digress. So I'm trying to build out an engaging structure. I actually have an Excel sheet. It's actually done in Google, but same difference. I actually have a spreadsheet literally as my planner. I have every day of the month in there, and what videos are coming out and what is the target, and I break everything down in categories, and I put everything together, and it's just, I actually build a plan on how I'm going to tackle the month, and I build that plan based on the feedback that I see. So when you guys take the time to comment, when you take the time to like, etc., I'm judging what I'm going to come out with next based upon your feedback. So thank you for those that take the time, because I know not everybody does, but thank you for taking the time to do that. It really means a lot, and it gives me some guidance on where I need to focus so I can continue to make engaging content for you. So golly, man, 5,000 plus subscribers going into November. I'm just blown away. Thank you again for all of that. God, and what that does, let me just put a button on this. We'll move on to the next thing. By having this community growing the way that it is, it allows me to get these types of interviews. It allows me to try to get another, rock and roll Hall of Famer to come on a channel. It allows me to get somebody like Joe Friday to come on and share some stories of maybe some interesting music stories. It allows me to go to hardware companies and say, hey, I want to review some things. Maybe you can send me some things so I don't have to keep spending my hard-earned money to review these things. And it gets access for me to help bring content to you. And that's what I'm really passionate about doing. I want to bring really great content to you. That leads me into something that's coming up that I teased out on the last channel update. It's still been a work in progress, but we're going to start filming this month. And that is the Audiophile Series with my dear friend Shane from an Aussie Audiophile. And if you are not a subscriber of the Aussie Audiophile, you should be. Shane is next level in his setup. He has beautiful hardware. He runs Wilson speakers, subs, got some major hardware behind it. It blows my turntable away. If you all like my Riga P10 with the Hana, Umami Blue, his puts mine to shame. Beautiful turntable. He's next level. And I think what's interesting about Shane and I collabing on an Audiophile series is that we're kind of at two different levels of that spectrum. He's more on a higher side of, I would say, from a reasonable investment without spending hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars in equipment. He's probably over, I would say, he's probably over 100,000 plus in his system. That's for him to disclose or not disclose, but I would probably put it about 150 if I'm doing quick math, versus my, 35, 40 that I have here. So big difference in jump, but both audiophile. And I think it's going to be interesting on how we're doing this, because we're picking these topics, but it's not going to be just him and I talking about the topics. No. We are going to invite industry leaders to come in and join us on those conversations. So when we talk of things about like turntable calibration, or we talk about, do cables really matter, or do we talk about other things inside of the audiophile world, we're going to be bringing in industry experts to come and join us in those conversations. And I think that's what's really going to make this Audiophile series amazing. And these are going to be things that, you don't really think about, or we're going to try to, unfud or fud up. I don't know. I don't know how you want to phrase it, but we're going to try to, myth busters, if I can say that without it being trademark, some of the things that people say about some of this audiophile stuff. Like, does it really matter, and at what level does it really matter? And is there such things like diminishing returns? We all know they are, but at what point do they actually hit you, and should you, start really thinking about investing somewhere else? So where I'm getting at is, we probably have about a dozen videos kind of etched out on a worksheet right now, and about half of those have commitments from industry leaders to partake and interview, sit down in an interview, but it's not an interview, sit down with a chat amongst us to just talk about that subject. And our hopes is, I think the first few we're going to do, and Shane, I hope you don't slap me for saying this, because I don't want to promise anything to your community, but we haven't openly discussed this. But I think what we're going to do is, I think the first couple of videos, we're just going to record with that person, whoever the guest is. But I think the goal for us would be to actually open this up and maybe do it live, right? And have it live so you can ask questions as well, and have an opportunity to ask some of these industry experts, or even share your opinion with them and get their feedback. And we think that's going to be really, really fun. We're evaluating a platform to do that would tie into both of our channels. I don't want to share too much information about that, because I don't know what I can share just yet, but we are looking at some unique things in the future to try to bring that content to you. So yes, filming is going to start with that series this month. I don't have with you right now and when the first video is going to go out. The plan is that Shane and I, once we want to have a few videos recorded, so we have the schedule kind of planned out. We're being professionals about this. We're building everything out. We're making sure we have our content. We're making sure we know where the video is going to go. We're creating the playlist. Like, it is all a thing. We're putting a lot of time and effort into this. It's been a collaborative project for the last, Shane, 2-3 months that we've been working on this together. And it's going to start finally happening. So we're just making sure that it's all done right, because as this is coming from Shane and I in our conversation, we want to make sure we have the best content for you. And that's really the truth. We have opportunities just to pick up the phone and talk to some of these folks, but we don't want to do that, right? We want to bring their knowledge, their expertise, the conversation to your doorstep, to your phone, to your TV, to your computer, so you feel like you're a part of it. And we want to make sure we're asking the questions that really matter. And I think once we get a chance to kind of open that up to where we can have live participation, really going to be a game changer. So I'm really excited about this. Now, the cool thing is we don't know when this series will end. We don't know if it's just going to be probably the dozen or so videos that we have planned, or if we're going to try to keep it an ongoing thing and just run it throughout the year and see what happens. That's all a little bit too much in the future for us to determine. We don't want to put an end date on this just yet. We want to see how it performs. Yeah, so some great things that come up. I have a cheat sheet here of things I want to make sure I talk to y'all about. That's why I keep looking down. I will tell you too, I had some really cool stuff. I don't have it here to show you, so maybe I'll wait to another video. But I got some really cool test pressings from Experience Vinyl. I had a chance, let's see if it's around the room. I had a chance to go out there and meet with them. I went to their office and spent some time over at Experience Vinyl. It was a great opportunity to kind of walk through their office and get to meet the team. And it was really great. I didn't go there to film content, so I don't really have content to share with you. I went there from a relationship building exercise because I'm hoping that I can hopefully collaborate more and more with them in the future. They do a lot of exclusive pressings with select bands, and I think, and then plus they also act as a label as well. There's some things that they've issued and released purely on their Experience Vinyl label. And I'm just trying to build relationships, right? Like Joe Friday, Experience Vinyl. I'm trying to build these relationships so I can bring you better content. So I went out there just from a pure relationship builder. My wife and I, we went and visited them. And I got some really cool limited edition test pressings from them that I just thought was cool and I wanted to share with you. Sorry, the video jumped. I went and got the stuff to share with you, so I didn't talk about it. I can actually show you. So the test pressings I got that's really cool is so Experience Vinyl is the one that is, I told you, somewhat of a label as well. And they're actually the ones releasing the vinyl record of the Warhorse album. That was the album that Chan Kinchla is releasing. That's, Chan Kinchla is a guitarist of Blues Traveler. He's stepping out being a frontman of his own band. It's an LA band that really picked up during COVID time. They kind of formalized their own band and been playing, and they're coming out with their first album, And the Horse They Rode In On. And this is the test pressing of that. You can see here, the information for the test pressing here. So this is really cool. I have a chance to have the album. I pre-ordered the album, so I'm waiting for the real deal to come in, but it's cool to have the test pressing. I just thought this was really interesting kind of thing to get. And then I also got, the guys over there realize I'm a really big Blues Traveler fan. I've been listening to Blues Traveler for years. So this is a test pressing of the Blues Traveler 4. They just reissued it, official reissue, not a counterfeit reissue, but they just reissued it on blue and purple vinyl. The blue was a limited audiophile, 180 gram pressing, and the purple is just a normal vinyl pressing. But this is the side A, side B Blues Traveler 4 test pressing from that cut. So really two really cool albums to add to the collection here that I'm just super excited to add. And then I also picked up while I was there. Well, I can't say picked up. These were gifts. I got Mike Flanagan. This is West Texas Blues. It's a picture disc. It's actually not on Discogs, so I'm not really sure what the backstory is on this. I got to do a little bit more digging on that, but I plan on adding that to Discogs. Also got Don Jameson. This is No Sleep Till McSorley's. And McSorley's is a bar, and at McSorley's you either get a light beer or a dark beer. This is the light beer pressing, so not only do you get a signed beer coaster, but it's also a light colored vinyl. See? Isn't that cool? And then if you got the dark one, the record's dark, and your beer picture of Don is also dark. So I just thought that was really cool things that I was able to pick up over there. I got a couple other things as well, but I don't have them readily available. So yeah, I just thought that was some really nice stuff, and I'm hoping that as the outcomes of that Experience Vinyl trip, we'll be able to do more with them in the future and bring you all some great, unique content, and that's what I'm striving to do. Let's see here. We talked about the Experience Vinyl. We talked about RSD 5000. A video a day for 2.5 months. Crazy. We talked about Joe Friday, future band interviews, Audiophile Series. I think that is everything I have to share with you. I just want you to know I'm working hard for you to bring you content you care about. And if you have any ideas, things that you would really love to see, don't be shy. Drop it in the comments. Let's interact, have conversation with me. Let's figure out if we can put some videos together that you care about, that you want to see. Listen, if there's a good idea, I'm gonna do it. There's videos I have come up with and put on this channel because somebody has said it would be cool if ... and filled in that blank, and that's what I did. I did the video. So you know, that's the part of being in a community, right? We all work together. I'm here to work for you to create great content. And as we move into November, and we don't know what November's gonna be, I'm assuming with holidays and everything else, I'm expecting momentum to slow down. I hope I'm wrong, but I expect it to slow down. But I also know with a great community like you out there, liking, pushing your friends to go and watch these videos, that we're gonna continue to grow and we're gonna continue to do great things together. And I can't wait to interact with you more. I'm really working hard to figure out ways to interact with you more, especially on videos where I can pull you into conversations in real time. So I'm working on those things. Hopefully more to come. By this time we have a conversation in December, and we'll see where we're gonna be in December. We'll be at 6,000 subscribers, 5,500. Maybe we'll still be hovering somewhere around 52. No matter what it is, I'm very blessed because I have you. I'm gonna grab myself a cup of joe, and I'll see you on the next video.